Oh, you can probably see she's gotten pretty rickety. I've taken off the beams that were across the top in the middle that went sideways. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. From that one to that one that way. I'm just taking those beams off now. Luckily there's only one screw in them, so I should get them both off, although I'm a little bit worried we're going to have to hack the guts out of this white rose, which is a bit of a shame because it is very pretty, but still got to fix the arbour. The rose will grow back. What I've done there that's caused the same problem as it did in the chook house is these went straight into the ground. They are actually structural pine, but they just eventually they're going to rot off. You can see how much that one's moving. They rot off, so I'm going to change that to hardwood, and just like I did in the aquaponics, I'm going to stick it on a paver above the ground. Still debating whether or not to try and concrete the paver in. I'll have a think about that. Anyway, so that's why the posts have got to come out. Now I'd like to try and reclaim as much of the other wood as I can. The other big issue, of course, is that white rose, the iceberg rose. And you can see, you know, it's gone through. We wound that through right from an early age, which at the time was great, but now I've got to change it around. I'm going to have to cut it off fairly low. Hopefully it will survive. It should do, but we'll see what happens. I guess just by the lean on that post, you can probably tell how rotted off they must be at the bottom, can't you? Holy guacamole. You can see how rotted they are. Now that pretty much just pulled straight out the ground. I didn't even have to dig the concrete they were set in. You can see there was no digging bloody required. Oh look, there's a hole. That's where that one post was in. Oh, I think I can see that one too. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll get our pavers and we'll get our hardwood posts. We'll set them in place first. Cutting the rotted edges off, ends off those boards. Still plenty of timber left in that. They'll go in the wood heap. They can be reused. You can see even the screws. I'm going to reuse them when I put it together. The bits are stacked neatly over there. Hopefully we'll be able to reuse those as well. I'm just a bit leery about whether I'll get away with those cross bits in the middle there. They might look a bit chintzy and small when they're on the much bigger legs, but we'll see, hey? And the bonus spin-off from that is Rosie got a nice bunch of white roses for in the dining room. The posts attached to those pavers for feet. That side is lower than this side, so this side is going to have to be dug, which is proving to be a problem because that's where the concrete was. So I am in fact going to have to dig that concrete on this side out. This is classic. I waited 2 days till it was a bit hot, you know, it was like running 27 degrees, which isn't really hot for us, but it's a bit warm to be out digging and working real hard, because I thought I'm really going to have to go into battle with this concrete. Well, 3 digs with a shovel, and guess what? It's just come out. How good is that? Anyway, so we'll keep going. And kind of roughly level. What I want to do now is work out a height, and using a level, then bracket them in groups of 2. I think I haven't decided whether I'll go that way first or that way first. But anyway, I'll bracket them in groups of 2. I'll probably come that way first. And use a level to make sure they are indeed level. And I'll have to pick a height first because they're way too high at the moment. In terms of that cross membering, you can see there's 2 of the old braces there. I actually quite like that size with these bigger posts. So I've got a ton of that wood. I might screw a couple of bits of it together and then try and do a fancy cut to see if I can mimic what's there that I did last time. And we'll use that. Now the difference is I want to do the top, but I also want to do down in towards the middle as well, because that'll just give it that extra bracing that I didn't have last time. One of my big problems is I don't have equipment that's big enough to get through these things. You can see there's the initial saw blade. Partly that's because I use mostly battery operated tools. I don't need a lot of tools. I'm not going to spend $1 million on tools. Having said that, yes, they're important. As you can see here, this has caused me a bit of grief. I'm going to try and do the rest with a hand saw. Wasn't all that much work. Having said that, the end fell off, hit me on the leg in 2 places, and ow, that's got to hurt, eh? First post level. Now here's how I'm doing it. Now I don't recommend you follow anything that I say. I'm just documenting what I do here, folks. I don't know a shit about building. I don't pretend to know anything about building. If you're looking for building advice, go somewhere else, because I'm not it. Anyway, I got the front one level, and then I used the big level to mark off the second post, so it's level 2. So I'll take that and cut it. And you can see that's how I'm going to proceed round all 4. About with a few different looks on that. One where I didn't have the top bit. One where I only had the top bit and not the bottom bit. I think I like it best with both. So that's the way I'm going to do it. Well, the essential structure is done. It's fairly sturdy. I mean, I could concrete those pavers in, but I'm a bit reluctant, to be honest with you. You know, A, it doesn't seem to hold as steady as I'd like when I concrete anyway. And B, it's just a pain in the ass later. And like I say, I don't want to make it with a raised edge that'd make water sit on the bottom. Just have to work out how I'm going to sit those cross structures across. I probably wouldn't line it up with that either. That looks a bit funny. I'll move it forward slightly so they're not lined up deliberately. I wasn't happy when I just cut them and rested them on top last time. They kept falling over. So I might find some little cheap brackets that'll just hold them into place. Might be an easier answer. Well, there you go. Arbour fixed. There's the odd board up on the top or bracket. A lot of them are actually snug enough that I don't need to. I did a better job than I expected fitting it, so that's good. Probably 50-50. But anyway, there you go. It's done. So if you like self-sufficiency and growing stuff for yourself and being a bit self-sufficient in the city, think about hitting the subscribe button. If you're looking for a channel that's going to show you how to build stuff properly, carpenter skills, don't hit the subscribe button, folks. Put the lattice on. There you go. Looks good, doesn't it? I like it. I'm happy with that. Alright, have a good one. See ya.